Hello everybody, this is Professor Bushra Ansari, and today we'll start with one of your subjects from semester 6 HR specialization, that is HRM and Global Perspective. Today we are going to talk about the subject and overview about the subject. But before moving ahead, let's see what is the syllabus all about. So your syllabus as usual is being divided into 4 modules. The first module we are going to talk about international HRM and overview. Second, we'll be dealing with your global functions in HRM. So whatever you have been studying right from your 3rd semester of HR, that is your recruitment, performance, compensation and strategy making, many things, you are going to study this from global perspective. So how is it working out in other countries? That way. Third, we are going to talk about managing the expatriation and repatriation. When we say managing the expatriates and repatriates, we're talking about how we are going to discuss the issues faced by the people who move out of the country, and then when they come back, what are the issues they face, when they're outside the country. Not only that, we're also going to talk about in the 4th unit about the recent trends. What all are the new things, new ideas which more or less the HR is using nowadays to handle the human resource, that is the people out there, in a more better manner, in a convenient manner. So let's begin with the first unit and the very first part of our topic today, that's international HRM and overview. To begin with, what exactly IHRM is? Let's divide the terminology international human resource management into 4 different parts. So what are we talking about, Firstly, we're talking about international. So we all know that we're talking about going beyond the boundary of our country. So anything and everything beyond the boundary of a country, we are talking about, say, getting global. We're talking about changing the whole thing in the name of the paperwork and many things. Then we talk about human. It's about you, it's about me, it's about people who have got lot of emotions, lot of apprehensions, lot of issues, lot of happiness things. And then we talk about resource. So any organization using human as a resource. So if I say that I am moving a table or a pen and I'm throwing it out of the window, the pen is not going to create an issue. But if I throw you out of the window, obviously it is going to create an issue. So we talk about using the human beings as a resource. And when we talk about these resources to be managed with, so we talk about it to be human resource management. Now when I am managing this resource, I am involving the functions, I am involving the procedures from global perspective. It changes. A very simple example, if I am sitting in my home, obviously nobody can poke me, nobody can tell me anything. Get up from your place or go and get a glass of water. I can order people, I can tell people that yes, I need a glass of water. But when I am at a neighbor's place or at a relative's place, what will happen? I will have to be very sophisticated, I'll have to look into it, that I'm following the culture and the tradition, what my relative or my, altogether my people or the people around, they are following. So what has happened? I have somehow changed myself and I have to absorb this according to what those people are doing. That is where, as an individual, as a human resource, when you go out to another country and you try absorbing the other country's rules, regulations and everything, we talk about human resource management in international perspective. And that's exactly what you're supposed to write as well in your exams. Involving your human resource, managing your human resource, but through an international manner, how an HR or what exactly an HR is going to do when they are around, people, or they're supposed to handle the employees in this form. This was all about how and basically what an human resource management in international perspective is. Moving further, then we are talking about we have the certain definitions which define how exactly human resource management when done in international perspective, how does it look like. And then we move ahead and we talk about what are the basic things. So what are the, say, in terms of international human resource management, what are the three very basic elements which we should be knowing? So as far as the whole learning of the subject goes, we are supposed to understand that there are three major characters in this. So it's a movie like that, and we have got three major characters. One is, I'm talking about the home country. When I say home country, I'm talking about my own parent country. I'm talking about my own country where the whole company is. So when you look from an NMNC perspective, this is where the parent company is. So very well, if it is an Indian company, India is my home country. Second, it becomes host country. So an Indian company going out and having an office in, say, US. So US becomes my host country. And then I have the third character, that is third party or the third country. So when I say third country, I am saying the country which is neither India nor US. So what do? I talk about an Indian company having an office in US. So home country India, host country US. But then at the same time, I am hiring some, say, African people, or I am hiring a Britisher. So someone from London, someone from UK. What has happened? Indian company having an office in US, hiring a person from UK. In this case, we have three people involved. We are talking about home country, India, host country, US, and third country, that is nothing but my UK, the other continent. So these three are the things. If you are able to understand these three things very clearly, you will be able to understand the approaches, you will be able to understand many concepts in global perspective. And when we talk ahead, like if we move to the features part, what exactly is my feature? What exactly is, like, say, IHRM's feature basically? So the whole thing, firstly to understand what is the meaning of a feature. Now IHRM, it's not a product. So when I ask you, tell me the features of your cell phone, it's comparatively easy. But then it's a concept. How do you define, how do you design features of a concept? You need to understand that when I am applying this rule to the people, I am applying this rule to the employees, what will happen? How am I looking forward to the outcome? So I see, say, in terms of, say, developing skills, I see features in terms of, see, basic understanding when you are writing or when you are writing a paper or learning the concept of IHRM or the features, just understand you are supposed to keep in mind in this case that I am talking about a concept. So the moment this concept gets applicable, how will I write about it? So understood? It's all about a very normal understanding, saying, say, the part of an individual having, say, the cultural diversity, the skills variation, the people who are there outside. So you talk about going out in the other country, how are they working, how are you dealing with them, all these things, and how as an HR in the company, I am going to help you with this kind of thing. So this becomes my IHRM, the features, the basic features. So whatever you understand about it, just imagine you going outside to US and what all things you would want me, that is, say, for example, your family would take care of you. That's nothing but the features of IHRM. And likewise, why I have to do IHRM? Why not just simply say, let it be here only? Many times I have to move my people outside. Now, so it's like it's quite common to use video calls, and the custom has come down of moving people. But then majorly in IT companies, we had this whole idea of sending employees to the client side. Now when we send them to client side, they should be knowing not only the work, but then how they are going to adjust. So the objective is more like the employee is able to cater to the client well. The communication is improvised, the technical element is strong, and at the same time my employee gets to learn about new culture. My employee gets to learn about new way of working. If I'll ask you, tell me what are your secrets of writing an exam, you will certainly not tell me. But then if I sit along with you and I see how are you writing an exam, I'll definitely get to know something or the other. Same thing gets applied to the concept of IHRM as well. So in this whole case, in this way, let's understand, let's see how this IHRM has evolved. And earlier, this whole thing of IHRM, it existed, but no major focus was given on that. And when we say no major focus was given, we were talking about the era, the time when the idea was only moving the employee to the other country. But then slowly, gradually, people realized, organizations realized that these employees, when going out, they are not able to sustain for a long time. So they used to come back. And when they used to come back, it used to be a problem for the company because they have invested so much amount of money in visa, tickets and everything. So slowly, gradually, in the name of evolution, in the name of step-by-step things, the companies realized it's necessary that we should give them some culture training. We should look at their comfort level when they come back as well. In this form, the whole way of looking at IHRM changed drastically, say in last 50 years, right from 1970, 1980, when people started moving out, going through cruise ships, going through, say, flights, this whole thing changed. And then we are based on this evolution, the whole idea, today, it's all together a different way of seeing. So that was all about evolution part. That was all about how IHRM became an important perspective, so important enough that it's a part of your curriculum. So certainly there has to be some significance of this whole IHRM to the business part. And that's where we talk about commitment, challenges, congruence, and these things which you have studied. We are trying to